Hello, welcome to this presentation. I'm Morris Dimba, and today I'm going to show you how to create the internal roof supporting structure of a fuel storage steel tank using a polar array tool, or macro integral structures. And we are going to get started right away. And to access all the tools, where we get them, we come all the way to this button here for us to access the applications and component tools or a section. Then we'll come to rotate, but we have our tank already in place. If this is your first video you've bumped on, there's a part one that we did that looks the same way, and we'll take you through on how to do this. So today we are in the second step on creating the internal structures that will be supporting the conical roof of our tank. Now we are going to start with the center column of the tank. Now I'll come to steel. I'll come to column right there, and I want to place my center column right at the center there. The height reads that 16 meters, and there's no pipe, there's no steel that takes that, but this will be joined together. They will be joined at the middle here by weld, joining two pipes by weld. And what I'm going to do here, I'll first of all switch back to a plan view and zoom it closer, because we want to set up our parameters that will be helping us in creating this center column for this particular tank that will be supporting the roofing part of this tank. Now I'll come to at any position here, and I'll snap on that spot and come all the way and snap on that spot, and again come all the way here and snap right there, and go all the way that way. We just need these three that forms a triangle, this and that. So this is a triangle. So I'll switch back to my isometric view, and you'll be able to see those triangles there, right there. So again, we'll go back to the plan view, because I want to create, first of all, let me just check the size of our pipe. That's 720. That's okay. Now I'll come to steel, and I'll come to beam here, and I'll snap on that spot, stretch all the way to that end, and I need a length of 800 millimeter. So from here I'll pick that and click move, and I'll move it all the way to this far end here. I'll snap it right there. Now I'll click on empty screen right there, and switch back to my isometric view. I'll click on the view and switch back to the isometric view. Now what I'm going to do, I want to take this member up by 16 or so, or less. I'll come to special copy, then come here and just feed. First of all, let's check the dimensions of this. The flange height is 4.6, so the height will subtract 4.6. Now once I've selected that, I'll come to special copy here, and I'll feed here 16 or 15 600 here, 15600 right there, and I'll go take it up, right click, and come back to that, and here it is, and we'll come all the way there and drag that slightly. So we'll select on this and drag this and bring it right there to flash or to cover that 4 millimeter offset. So there we are, we have this in place. So in this particular case, what I'm going to do once again is very simple. I'll bring this up. Let me first of all delete this beam. So I want these points to go up, so I'll select them, press Ctrl and select all these points. So once you've selected those points, come to special copy here, and you want to copy them up at 16 meter at the height of our column. Then I'll go straight and click copy and accept that by clicking OK. Now we have them on top here. Our points have been transferred on top here. So what we want to do now, we want first of all to weld this to that. We'll try a tube. So we'll try and weld this to that, or this to this. So it has been welded, and that's how it looks. So we cannot afford to refresh because we'll lose our points. So what I'm going to do prior to refreshing this, we'll just go ahead and bring the polar array tool. Remember, if we refresh, we'll lose these points. So there's no point. We'll lose our markings that will be used to array this member around this column. Now what I'm going to do, just double click on that, on this member, double click until this dialog box appears. So inside here we have options here, methods of array. We have 3 of them. You can pick equal distribution by number of objects, or equal distribution by target spacing, or equal distribution by exact angle. So in this case we are using this equal distribution by exact angle, and we have 10 objects, grayed and disabled, and we have the angle that is adjustable. Now we'll select this member, then press the middle button of the mouse. So we'll get instruction here to pick the first point. So we'll pick this point here as our first point. Then we go to this point here as our second point right there. Then come here to the third point. Then you'll find everything already arrayed the way you want it. So we'll close that by clicking on OK, and we'll come here and check whether this has been created perfectly, and this is the best thing we wanted to see. So don't worry about this. This will be still in place because we don't want to lose these 3 points, these 4 points are seeing the screen, because the moment we refresh, we'll lose all those points. So we'll just retain them in that place until we finalize with the top end part of this column, where all the rafters will be connecting to, stretching all the way to the final course of this plate of the tank. Now we want to place another member right here. So what I'm going to do, I'll first of all, let me just zoom in. You can't zoom in. Let me just bring this close and come to navigate, and I want to turn that around like that, and I want to snap right at the center, and I'll come to edit, come to at any position, and I'm targeting at the midpoint here. And to get that also, there's another way that will be easy to use without any obstruction from other components. I'll come to at any point, then I'll pick the midpoint here. I need a midpoint between these two, so I can pick this by coming back to points. I can pick that point and pick this point here, so that I get that point, which I don't think is in the middle. It is not in the middle, so we're targeting the midpoint here. So the midpoint can either be directed or be assisted to by using that spot and going all the way to this far end. Is it really the midpoint? Not the midpoint of that member. So it's easy. I'll come to points, I'll come to online, then snap at that corner and snap at this end here, and we'll get the midpoint right here. I'll apply that and come again to points. These points are very useful because they help us get the best direction when we feel lost. Now we'll pick on that spot, right click and come to copy, then we'll copy that from this end and drag it all the way to the bottom end here. So we'll pick this, select on that, right click and come to special copy and come to linear, and we'll take it down by a meter. We'll just feed 1 meter here, 1 meter here, and we'll take it down right there. So we'll come to view, we'll come to navigate, and that's how it will look, slightly off the point. So we'll undo that and select on it once again and come to special copy and come to linear here, and just type 800 and click copy right there. So I'll come back to steel once again and come to beam, and I want to join this that end to this end here. So that's exactly what I wanted to do, and I'll come to view and check that. So once I've done this, I'll come to weld. I'll come to weld here and pick that option, and I want to weld this to this. So that has been welded together with that, and also we want to weld this to this, and that has been welded. So to check whether the welding has been done perfectly, we have to turn this round and you'll find it is poorly done. So what do we do? Just undo and use the best tool to create that weld. The same we used on this top end. Now let me just undo that and come to tube here, just type tube and snap on that, and I want to weld this to that. So I think the weld has been created, and this is how it looks, and it's well connected to the pipe. So what we are going to do is now we come back to polar, just type polar and double click on polar, and we'll select this member, then press your middle button on the mouse, then define the points. We'll define the points we want to use. We'll define these points. That one, it's not the accurate section that will help us do the correct thing. So what I'm going to do, we are going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do the exact same thing to set up what we've just done, but we've done it on the wrong position. So we'll just snap on that spot and snap right there. So we'll select on that, right click and come to special copy. I'll come to copy, and then come all the way here and snap on top here, and bring it down here. Once you've selected that, select on it, right click and come to special copy here, and come to Z axis and click it and copy that at that distance. Let's delete that, then come to view here and come to navigate and turn that round like that, and we'll come back to beam here. After clicking on the steel, you'll be able to access the beam. So this is the point we wanted to reach. So we'll come back to weld and pick that option, and we want to weld this member to this member. So where a weld has been created, I will go back to tube. We want to weld that, pick on tube, and we want to weld that to that. A weld has been created, and we want to populate that around the rest. So we'll come back to polar right here, type polar and double click on polar command. So here we have options. We have the equal distribution by number of objects, we have the equal distribution by target spacing, equal distribution by exact angle. we are using the equal distribution by exact angle. We have 10 components at an angle of 30. Now, distributed on a full circle. So once you've invoked that command, select the component you intend to array, select on it, then press your middle button on the mouse. So pick your first point, which will be this point. This will be our first point, and we are forming a triangle here. So we'll come from that point, we'll come to this point, come to that point, then we'll come to this point here. Perfect. And we've created, or we've arrayed these components to all those sections, and that's how it looks at this particular time. Now what we are going to do now, we want now to place the bottom end base plate. So we'll come to base plate here, just type base, then I will pick the circular base and select on that member, and we'll snap at the bottom end here, and we've created the base. Don't worry about the bottom plate, that will be placed once we're done with the roof supporting structure. So we have this in place. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to double click on this member. I did this previously so that I cut down on time. I double click on that member so that I default on that size. So, or I can just pick on it, click move, and I'll just copy it from that spot and take it to this position right here. Take it to this position or that position. Let's first of all check the distance from here. Come to measure, and we'll snap right at the center here and check this distance. That is 12 meters. That is 12 meters. So we'll place it right there. Right click and come to copy, and we'll come all the way to this spot here, and we'll place it right here. Perfect. So what we are going to do, once again, we want to check the height of this. That is 15, and this is 16. That's okay, and we'll get rid of this one now. So in this particular case, what I'm going to do is just to follow the same process. I'll select on this. Once I've invoked that command, polar, just type polar, and I'll double click on it, and I'll pick on the component I want to create. So once I've done so, I'm going just on the same location. I'll try to mark this. I'll try to put a point here just to mark the points. I'll come to at any position, and I'll mark a point here, and I'll mark a point right here, and mark a point here. Perfect. Now I'll double click on it once again, then select the component you want to array, place the mid button on the mouse. It's not the appropriate way, we've left a step. Select on that, press the middle button on the mouse, and this will be our first position. Then our second position will be this, then our third position will be this. So we have the columns arrayed around the center column, our previous center column, in place. So we can come here. Once you've done that, you can come back and try and place the base plates. Just place the base plates here, click on that, then click at the bottom end there, then just do all of them. So this would be easier if you do this prior to arraying all the columns. So I'll just click on the individual columns and finalize everything perfectly. So let me just do that. Select on that and snap on that end. Select on that and snap on that end. Select on that and snap at the center to create the base plate. So I'll turn that around, and this is how it will look. So in this particular case, once again, I'll come all the way here. You can see we have a member duplicated right there. So you remember, if I delete this, I'll lose all the members. So this is the master. It is the mother column that connects all this. So if you delete, you get rid, you lose everything. So to do that, I'll first of all disable the assembly tool, and I'll copy that from that center, and I'll try to try and copy that right there, and I'll try to check this measurement. This is a 1550, 15500, and I'll bring this down to 500, to 500 right there, 500 there, 1500, 15 meters. So that's okay. So I'll come here and select on that. I'll place my base plate right there. So again, I'll do this exactly the same thing. So in this case, I'll come to edit, I'll come to points, come to at any position, and I'll snap right there the center here to mark my first point, and I'll go all the way to this end and snap there, and come all the way, just turn round and turn that round like that, and make sure you snap on the accurate position. So come to edit and come to points and come to at any position, and we'll snap somewhere here right there. So let's go back to polar array. So we'll double click on that and select on this member, press the middle button, and we'll snap on that spot as our first point, and snap on this end as our second point, then snap here as our third point. So you'll find everything arrayed the way you want it to be arrayed. So these are the internal columns of our tank. So at the moment you can afford, you can try and redraw, so even if you lose all the points, you'll be able to trace your way back like that. So this how it will look internally. So I'll come back here and type cap plate, and snap on that, then snap at the middle there just to close that section. And also you can do to the rest of the members, and snap on that spot, and snap on that spot. Remember, this can be done prior to even arraying everything, so that you don't waste your time doing this to individual members. So I'm just doing this so that you see the options or the freedoms you have, whether to take the longer step or to cut down on your time by doing everything prior to doing the array. So let me just do that for now, so that you see how flexible it is to work with Tekla structures. Now let me just snap on that spot and snap here also. So that's how it looks, and when you turn that round like that, you'll be able to see we've arranged all the columns in place. So if I double click on my screen and change this angle, we want to get the elevation, we want to get this elevation, you can change 00 and press modify, and we can see our center column in place. So the rafters will be running all the way to the final course of our tank. This will be a conical shape roof, a cone shape roof, and these are the columns that will be supporting the rafters, which will be holding the plate that will be placed on top here. So this is just a second part of this presentation, and we'll do the third part on the rafter and the sheet and the plate layout or arrangement on top of this structure. Thanks a lot for watching this channel and watching this video in particularly. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and let's meet then. I'm Morris Dimba, and always don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorial and educative information regarding Tekla structures modeling and detailing, and also designing. Thanks a lot and bye bye. Let's meet then. I'm Morris Dimba. Thank you.